I never thought a single Facebook post could shatter my world like a dropped heirloom plate. But that's exactly what happened that scorching afternoon in our little ranch house outside Tucson, Arizona. The sun was beating down on the red desert earth, turning everything into a haze of heat waves, and I was in the kitchen, wiping sweat from my brow while stirring a pot of chili for dinner. My name's Jenna Thompson, and I've always been the kind of mom who lets creativity run wild, maybe too wild, according to some folks. But nothing prepared me for the moment I found my 9-year-old daughter,
Mia.
in her room, surrounded by torn-up sketches and crumpled canvases, her small hands shaking as she whispered, "I'm making it right."
Mom.
Making me right. It started innocently enough. Or so I thought. My mother-in-law, Evelyn, had snapped a photo during her last visit, a rare one, since she lived up in Phoenix and only came down when she needed something fixed around her place. The picture showed me and Mia in her bedroom, laughing over a finger painting session. Paint splatters on our cheeks, markers scattered like confetti, half-finished drawings taped to the walls. It was chaos, sure, but the good kind, the kind that comes from a kid with a spark of imagination brighter than the Arizona sun. Evelyn posted it on Facebook and in the family group chat, with a caption that hit like a sucker punch. Some folks just aren't cut out for parenting. And then the comments rolled in, like vultures circling roadkill. I sat on Mia's bed, pulling her close as she handed me her phone. Her cousin had forwarded the post. Evelyn's sister, Aunt Clara, chimed in first. "This is downright alarming. No child's space should look like that. It's a sign of deeper troubles." Uncle Roy added, "Look at her eyes in that shot. She seems off-kilter. Has she been evaluated?" Cousin Becca, my neighbor's kid, acted the same before they got her on meds. Just a thought. And there was Evelyn herself, doubling down. "I've offered advice." But Jenna brushes it off. "This isn't normal. Something's not right with that girl." They weren't talking about her art. They were diagnosing her, labeling her like she was defective merchandise. Mia's voice cracked as she pointed to the screen. "They think I'm broken."
Mom.
"Grandma says you shouldn't have kids. And I'm your kid, so she wishes I wasn't here." It was like she'd pieced together a puzzle no child should have to solve. I hugged her tight, feeling my heart twist. "Sweetie, there's nothing wrong with you. They're the ones who are mistaken, cruel, even." But her eyes told me she didn't buy it. She reached for another drawing, ready to rip it apart. "If I clean up, maybe they'll like me." That's when the rage bubbled up, hot as the desert asphalt. "To grasp how we got here, you need to know about Evelyn. She's the queen of her domain, a retired schoolteacher who runs her life like a military drill, everything in its place. No room for mess or mistakes. Our home in the Southwest, with its wide-open spaces and dusty trails, was her nightmare. The first time she visited after my husband, Ryan, and I got married, she eyed the stack of mail on the counter and the boots by the door like they were evidence in a trial. "Good Lord. You live like this?" she said, not joking. Ryan jumped in to apologize, and that set the pattern. His sister, Laura, was the golden child, her house in Scottsdale spotless. Her kids, Jake and Sophie, straight out of a catalog with organized toy bins and scheduled playdates. Mia took after me, the freelance illustrator who thrived on sketches and spontaneity. Our ranch-style house echoed with her laughter as she built forts from old boxes or painted murals on scrap paper. But to Evelyn, it was anarchy. "That child gets overwhelmed too easily," she'd say during family barbecues. "Eyeing Mia's energetic bursts." Or to Mia directly, at 6 years old, "Honey, does your head feel all jumbled like your room?" I'd bite my tongue, but Ryan stayed silent, his way of keeping peace, rooted in a childhood where Evelyn's word was law. And then there was the money. It crept in slowly, like sand in your boots after a hike. Could you spot us for the utility bill this month? Evelyn would ask, citing rising costs in Phoenix. Ryan set up automatic transfers, temporary.
He said.
But it grew. $200 here. $300 there. I chipped in from my design gigs, even though it stung. Because family helps family, right? Little did I know it was tying us in knots. Giving Evelyn leverage she wielded like a lasso. That night, as Mia sobbed into her pillow, Ryan's phone buzzed in the group chat. He was typing, something rare for a man who avoided drama like a cactus spine. Mia and I watched the dots dance, then vanish. No message. Her little shoulders slumped. Dad didn't say anything, she whispered. I tucked her in, promising it'd be okay. But inside, I was fuming. The next morning, over coffee on our porch overlooking the saguaro cacti, I confronted Ryan. Your mom crossed a line.
Mia se urting.
He nodded, eyes distant, then grabbed his keys for work at the local hardware store. But by evening, something shifted. He came home early, face set like stone. I saw the post, he said. And the comments. We talked, really talked for the first time about how Evelyn's concern was poison, how her control had seeped into our lives. He admitted the transfers totaled over $20,000 in 3 years. It's ending, he declared. That evening, he typed in the chat, Mom, you posted a photo of my wife and daughter, inviting everyone to speculate on what's wrong with a 9-year-old. That's not worry, it's hurtful. We've supported you financially for years, but insulting us stops now. If you see issues in Mia, you don't belong in her life. Then he left the group. The silence was deafening.
Mia picked in.
Her eyes wide. Did Dad stand up for me? I nodded. And for the first time that day, she smiled, a small, tentative one. But I knew this was just the beginning. Evelyn wouldn't let go without a fight. The days after Ryan's message felt like waiting for a monsoon in the dry Arizona heat. Tense. Electric. With storm clouds gathering. Our ranch house, usually a haven with its terracotta tiles and views of the rugged mountains, now buzzed with unspoken worry. Mia went back to school, but she carried the weight of those comments like a backpack full of rocks. What if the kids find out? She asked one morning, poking at her oatmeal. I assured her they wouldn't, but in a small town like ours, gossip spreads faster than wildfire. Evelyn didn't waste time. 2 days later, she escalated, posting the photo again, this time in a local Facebook group for Southwest families, with thousands of members from Tucson to Phoenix. The caption twisted the knife. As a concerned grandma, I shared my worries about my granddaughter's environment, only to be cut off by my son and his wife. We've helped them out money-wise for years. And this is the thanks? Does this look safe for a kid? It was a masterclass in playing the victim. And the comments poured in. Poor grandma. Sounds like neglect. Some parents can't handle feedback. Laura, Ryan's sister, jumped in. Mom's just looking out for Mia. Family comes first. I was alone when I saw it. Ryan at work fixing fences for a neighbor. My hands shook as I screenshotted everything. This wasn't just family drama, it was public shaming, potentially damaging our reputation in a community where everyone knows everyone. In Arizona, child welfare laws are strict. False reports can lead to investigations. But posting like this? It skirted the edge of defamation, especially using Mia's image without consent. I texted Ryan, your mom's at it again. We need to talk legal. He rushed home. Truck kicking up dust on our dirt driveway. This ends today, he said, reading the post. Instead of calling Evelyn, he commented publicly, Mom, stop twisting facts. You insulted Mia, encouraged diagnoses from relatives, and used her photo without permission. And no, you haven't helped us. We've sent you over $22,000 in the last 3 years. Proof attached. He uploaded bank statements, redacted for privacy. Then he shared screenshots of the original family chat, exposing the cruel labels: unstable, feral, needs meds. The tide turned quick as a flash flood. Locals chimed in. That's not concern, that's bullying a child. Posting a kid's private space? Not cool. One mom wrote, as a teacher, this reeks of emotional abuse. Laura tried to defend. It's out of context. We were worried. But the backlash grew. Evelyn deleted comments. But the damage was done. In Western states like ours, privacy laws protect minors online. And folks here value independence. Her meddling hit a nerve. That evening, the doorbell rang like a gunshot. Mia was in her room, tentatively sketching again. Ryan and I exchanged glances. We knew who it was. Evelyn and her husband, George, stood on the porch, faces flushed from the drive down from Phoenix. We need to hash this out, Evelyn snapped, pushing past Ryan. George loomed behind, arms crossed. You've embarrassed the family online. What's gotten into you? Ryan blocked the door. You started this.
Mom. Humiliating Mia publicly?
We're done. Evelyn's eyes narrowed. I was worried. That room's a hazard. Clutter everywhere. In Arizona, kids need structure, or they end up in trouble. George barked. You owe us respect. We've raised you right. But Ryan stood firm. Respect? You've taken our money while judging us. No more. Evelyn played her trump card. We'll sue for grandparents' rights if we have to. Arizona law allows it if it's in the child's best interest. I stepped forward, voice steady. Go ahead. Show the judge your posts calling Mia defective. See how that flies. In reality, Arizona's grandparents' rights are narrow, requiring proof of parental unfitness, which we weren't. It was a bluff, but it rattled her. She deflated, tears welling, her go-to move. You're choosing them over us? Ryan sighed.
Yes.
Because you forced it. He closed the door softly, but the click echoed like finality.
Mia emerged,
hugging his leg. You protected me, Dad. He knelt, eyes misty. Always, kiddo. The next week brought ripples. The Facebook group admin removed Evelyn's post for violating community standards, harassment via a minor's image. Whispers at Mia's school reached us. A teacher pulled me aside, concerned but supportive after seeing the full story. Legally, we consulted a family lawyer in Tucson. No grounds for her threats, he said. But document everything, could be defamation if it escalates. We filed a cease and desist for using Mia's photos, sent via certified mail. It was empowering, drawing clear boundaries in a culture where family ties can feel like chains. Mia started therapy, not because she was broken, but to process the hurt. Our counselor, a kind woman with a southwestern drawl, helped her see her creativity as a strength. Messy rooms make brilliant minds, she told Mia, who beamed. Ryan and I grew closer, talking late under starlit skies about his upbringing, Evelyn's control, George's silence. I should have spoken up sooner, he admitted. I squeezed his hand. You're doing it now. But Evelyn wasn't done. A month later, she mailed a letter, old school, on scented paper, begging reconciliation. For Mia's sake, it read. We ignored it, focusing on healing. The financial freedom hit too. Without those transfers, we fixed up the house, even added an art nook for Mia. Life felt lighter, like shedding a heavy saddle. Yet, as the sun set over the mountains, I wondered if revenge was enough, or if humanity demanded more. Months ticked by like the slow drip of a monsoon rain, each one washing away a layer of resentment in our Tucson home. The initial fury had cooled, replaced by a cautious peace.
Mia flourished.
Her room still a whirlwind of colors, but now with organized bins we bought together. Her idea? Not forced. She joined an after-school art club, where kids like her turned mess into masterpieces.
Mom.
They get it, she'd say, eyes sparkling. Ryan threw himself into fatherhood, coaching her softball team and sharing quiet evenings stargazing on our porch. Evelyn's silence stretched, broken only by indirect jabs through Laura. Mom struggling, Laura texted Ryan one day. The house needs repairs, hint. Hint. He replied curtly. Not our rodeo anymore. But the grapevine buzzed. Evelyn's reputation took a hit in Phoenix circles. At her church group, whispers followed her. The online drama had leaked, painting her as the overbearing in-law. George, ever the quiet enabler, reportedly urged her to apologize. But pride held her back. One crisp fall evening, as golden leaves from our mesquite tree scattered like confetti, the phone rang, Evelyn's number. Ryan answered. Speaker on. Son, she started, voice thinner than I remembered. We need to talk. Not about money, about Mia. Ryan tensed. What about her? A pause. I saw her art online. Laura showed me a school post. It's beautiful. It was true. Mia's painting had won a local contest, featured on the district's Facebook. But, Ryan prompted. Wary. No, but, Evelyn sighed. I was wrong. I let my fears blind me. Growing up in the Depression era out west, mess meant poverty, failure. I projected that. It was the closest to vulnerability she'd shown. George chimed in. We're sorry. Truly. Can we visit? Ryan glanced at me. I nodded slightly. On our terms.
No judgments.
They agreed. The visit was tentative, like testing thin ice on a frozen creek. Evelyn arrived with George, bearing homemade apple pie, a peace offering. Mia hung back, but Evelyn knelt slowly. Sweetheart, your grandma messed up. I said hurtful things because I was scared, not because of you.
Mia fidgeted.
You made me feel bad. Evelyn's eyes welled. I know. Can you forgive an old fool? Mia thought, then nodded. If you promise to like my art. We talked, really talked. Evelyn shared stories of her harsh upbringing in rural New Mexico, where order was survival. I thought I was helping, she admitted. Ryan opened up. It felt like control. Mom. Tears flowed. Bridges mending. Legally. We dropped the cease and desist. No need for courts when hearts shifted. But drama lingered. Laura arrived unannounced the next week. Furious. You're letting them back in after everything? She cornered Ryan. Mom needs financial help again. The roof's leaking. It was a test. Ryan stood firm. We'll help with advice. Not cash. Boundaries stay. Laura stormed out. But Evelyn backed him. He's right. Dear. Mia watched it all. Learning. Family's complicated, she said one night. I hugged her. But worth fixing. With love. Winter in Arizona brought cool winds and clearer skies. mirroring the thaw in our family. Evelyn's apology opened doors, but trust rebuilt slowly, like layering adobe bricks. She visited bi-weekly, sans judgments, helping Mia organize her art supplies without critique. "This color's vibrant," she'd say. Genuinely. George bonded with Ryan over fixing the truck, sharing laughs about old Western tales. Yet, undercurrents swirled. Laura escalated, posting subtly on social media, when family forgets who supported them. Subtle digs at us. Ryan confronted her privately. "Stop stirring the pot. We're healing. Join or step back." She chose the latter, distancing herself. It hurt Ryan, but he prioritized Mia. One day, Evelyn confessed over coffee. "I saw a therapist. Turns out, my concern was anxiety disorder, projecting onto you all." It humanized her, no villain, just flawed. We encouraged it, even covering a session our choice, not obligation. In Arizona, mental health resources are plentiful, and it fit our new dynamic, support without strings. Mia's confidence soared. At a school art show, Evelyn praised her publicly. "My granddaughter's a talent,"
No backhanded compliments. Mia beamed.
whispering to me, "Grandma's changing." The lesson sunk in, people can grow, but old habits die hard. During a family hike in the Sonoran Desert,
Evelyn nitpicked Mia's messy backpack.
Ryan intervened calmly. "Mom, remember our talk." She caught herself, apologized. Progress, not perfection. Financially, we thrived, savings grew. Funding Mia's art classes. Evelyn downsized her home voluntarily. Learning independence. "Feels good," she admitted. As spring bloomed with wildflowers, harmony settled. Drama faded, replaced by genuine bonds. By summer's return, our Tucson life hummed with renewed purpose. The initial revenge, exposing Evelyn's cruelty, had sparked change, but humanity tempered it.
Mia.
Now 10. Painted with abandon. Her room a testament to balanced chaos. "I like it this way," she declared. And we all agreed. Evelyn integrated fully, attending Mia's events without overstepping. "I've learned," she said during a barbecue. "Family's about lifting up, not tearing down." Ryan nodded. "And forgiveness takes strength." Laura eventually softened, apologizing after seeing the shift. We welcomed her back cautiously. The light lesson? In the vast Western landscape, where isolation breeds reflection, we discovered that true justice blends accountability with compassion. Cutting ties might satisfy anger, but mending with boundaries builds legacies. Mia summed it. "Everyone messes up, but fixing it makes us better." Our story wasn't about winning, it was about growing.
And in that,
We found peace under the endless Arizona sky.